time for iHeartRadio Live with Dylan Cartlidge. Here's your host, Emily Curl.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's your girl, Emily Curl from iHeartRadio Live, and I am so excited to be joined by our special guest, Dylan Cartlidge. Hi Dylan, how are you?
Yo, what's poppin'? It's also your boy Dylan Cartlidge. I'm here. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, we have similar slogans. I love that.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be talking with you. And now you're originally from London, right?
The Midlands of in the UK, but I'm from the middle of the UK, but I now live in the north, not far from Newcastle upon Tyne.
Got it. Okay. And now has that where you've been spending your time and working these last few months?
Yes, I've been here working on new songs and content in the lockdown.
Yeah, a great time for content making, honestly.
100%. I feel like everybody's becoming like PewDiePie right about now. It's happening.
Now I want to take it back to your origin story because I recently just watched a beautiful documentary done by BBC in 2018 that shared a small glimpse of your journey. For our audience who hasn't seen that video, can you tell us a little bit about your story?
100%. You know, my story, like you say, there was a BBC documentary in 2018 that was called The Mighty Red Car, which was all about young people and young people in the context of a small sort of, working class town that was, that's in the, in the wake of a big industry closure, kind of like Detroit or something. But it's a very small town, and it was a documentary really showing a glimpse into what the future holds for young people from this area, and like myself, and a few different stories. And for me, my background is that, I kind of moved to that town where, when I was around 16. I didn't have the kind of the best kind of upbringing, and coming to this town was a really special romantic thing for me. And there's a big part of, my personality and my kind of positive outlook for the most part. And yeah, it was a privilege to be part of that documentary. And for anybody that doesn't know me, I'm basically a cookie black guy that makes funk music, really.
Now, well, first of all, let me just say your energy is infectious. I mean, I'm so excited to talk to you. It's just, you're such a ray of light. So, I mean, this is so fun. And your music, I feel like, really reflects that, which is really special.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you, I'm glad you think that. It's kind of like, I, try to get my personality across. It's not, there is, I think a lot of the time, especially with music anyway, and social media, bringing your personality across can be something that's quite difficult, something that I've definitely struggled with. But in my music, I feel like that's where sometimes even, more so in the real world, where I can really feel at ease and really feel like myself.
Yeah. And now I want to go back to that documentary for a moment, because at the end of your story, we kind of see this really cool moment where you get a call and you get an offer and you're so excited and so happy. So from there, where did the story kind of evolve? What happened after that?
Well, the first thing that happened is I got that phone call. I got told that I was going to be leaving my job working in a bar, pulling pints for people. I got home and my mum was sat in her chair, watching television. And I said, "Oh, Mum, I'm going to be leaving the bar, and I've just got a contract with Universal." And she said, "When's your next shift at Wetherspoons," which was the bar I was working in. And she was just total, super hard, tough kind of UK mum that was just like, "Oh, when are you going to get a real job?" That was the very first immediate thing that happened. And then from there, it was really just, I got the opportunity to go in a studio for the first time. In London, which is where I work a lot of the time. I wrote Yellow Brick Road, first of all, which is my new single. That was the first song I wrote. And then from there, I just continued to write and write. And, 6 to 12 months later, I got the opportunity to go and tour with Darwin Dees. It was really cool. I got a great opportunity to go to work in Electric Lady Studio in New York. And, I signed with Glass Notes the last year or the year before last in August, and I'm working my way towards a record.
So a lot has happened. You're a busy man.
much more so than I was right now.
As you watched your career grow and expand, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned about yourself, or something maybe that surprised you?
I don't know. I think more so that I don't know just how quickly crazy things can become normalized, just how quickly the most crazy thing ever can become so normal. And, you know, and it's, you know, I feel like luckily for me, you know, I kind of like, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and what you see is kind of what you get. And, you know, working in, anybody that knew me when I, you know, working in a bar or whatever, it was exactly the same. I still blab on forever. And I'm just like, somebody is, you know, is kind of like, thought it was a good idea to employ me to blab on forever and, you know, and talk and make music and stuff. And the most surprising thing really was just how crazy things can become so normal, and going to New York and playing Glastonbury and coming to America. I mean, I'm on a Zoom call with iHeartRadio. Like, I mean, the fact that this is even happening, and the fact that I'm not like equivalent puddle on the floor, is crazy to me. And I think, you know, that's the thing that I've learned the most, is just that, like, I don't know, just how lucky I truly am.
Wow. Such a beautiful, I mean, and that's a beautiful reflection, I feel like, to have. And, you know, even this year, though, you know, we take it back, like 2020 has been a crazy year. It's been life-changing. It's been challenging. How has that impacted you creatively? Has it impacted your music, impacted the way you think, the way you create?
100%. You know, for me, my creative process, and, you know, I can't speak for other artists, only myself. You know, I got into music through necessity. It wasn't necessarily just like, oh, I like music, or, you know, I really like to play instruments, or that all those, you know, some of those things were true. For me, I come into music, I began writing about my experiences. You know, like I said, I had a difficult childhood, and to make sense of that and to try and understand that, I began writing raps. You know, I became a rapper. I began writing lyrics, writing poems. And it then became, you know, I came to a fork in the road where it was like, you know, am I either going to try and, you know, make a positive out of this situation, or am I going to become another, you know, kind of statistical analysis or whatever, just another number on a page? And I have been, you know, trying ever since to just try and, you know, keep myself as kind of like open and honest as possible. And my creativity and my music is very much part of my emotional regulation. And I'm still, to this day, my experiences, the way I understand myself and the kind of world around me or whatever, is by using music. And so every song I write is usually just a big subconscious loop that comes out in the studio from something I've been stewing on for a while, and then I make a song out of it. And so right now, obviously, we're in a time where things are super crazy. You know, everybody's having hardship, everybody's having difficulty, and, you know, we're living in an unprecedented time. Nothing like this has happened, you know, over maybe 100 years. And so it's, I guess, you know, affecting everybody differently. And for me, it really has had a massive impact on my creativity, because it's had a massive impact on me as a person, as well as, you know, everybody else around the world. And so I really, for me, it's really, I don't know, hit home just how much sometimes I really need to be cathartic with music and art in general, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of your music, for our audience who maybe hasn't heard your music yet, how would you describe it to them? How would you describe the sound to it?
So I kind of put it under the umbrella of alternative hip hop. It kind of sounds like, I don't know, if the Outcast and the Black Keys had a child with I don't know, Muse and Stromae, and then sprinkled a little bit of I know Britney, mid-90s Britney on it, with some gorillas. I know, whatever. It sounds like however I'm feeling on the day, and that's something that, but under the umbrella of alternative hip hop. I'm a rapper first and foremost, but I play other instruments, and I'm massively influenced by garage rock.
Yeah, so you kind of touched on that. Who are some of your biggest musical influences?
100%. Kid Cudi is a massive musical instrument. His influence, his music, essentially, you know, saved my life. And I realized at that point that music is way more than just, it can be way more than just an MP3, and it can really resonate with people. Like, I'm a massive fan of the Black Keys, massive fan of the White Stripes. Obviously, a massive Kanye fan. I'm a big fan of the Belgian artist called Stromae. But yeah, just there's a whole host of influences I really like. And
you're also a big Strokes fan, right?
Yes,
I heard you have a crazy story to tell us, because you saw Julian Casablancas.
Oh God! So basically, what happened was, like I said, I'm from the small, you know, kind of like working class town, and all of a sudden, I go from working in a bar to on this whirlwind kind of experience, and I got invited by a really, really big producer to come and work out at Electric Lady Studios, which is a crazy studio in New York, world famous studio, as everybody will know. And it was just like a dream. I'd never been to America before. I'd never ever been to America before. And the first thing, obviously, if anybody that knows that lives outside of the US or outside New York, when you go to New York, it's like the movies. Like you're in the movies. It's like, oh, this is the movies. And
even flying in is the most special thing too.
100%. And so basically, before the recording had even started, I thought, okay, I haven't got much time because I really want to get in the zone. I really want to be in the studio. I really want to be wholly there. There's not going to be much time for sightseeing. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get American pancakes. That's the only thing. As I said to our manager, David, like, we have to get American pancakes. And so we found this place. It was supposed to be like the best American pancake place. I couldn't remember the name, and it was closed. And so obviously I was being a diva, and I was like, oh no, it's closed, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, we'll have to go to the second best pancake place in New York then, eh? And we turned up to this place, a really unassuming little place. It looked like something out of a Tarantino film. It was like a little steel trailer cafe type thing. And we sat down, we had food, and I was telling my manager the whole way, just like, oh my God, like, I literally feel like this is where the Strokes were when they wrote that song, and that street was maybe where they were when they wrote that song, and da-da-da. And yeah, we were having breakfast, and I was telling my manager about a time I'd been starstruck, and I met an artist, and I said, oh, you wouldn't believe it, man, I was twitching, I was freaking out, and he was laughing, he was like, oh yeah, da-da-da. And he said, don't freak out or anything, but like one of the dudes from the Strokes is walking in. And I was like, haha, yeah, good idea. Okay. Funny. And he was like, no, I'm serious. Like, one of the people from the Strokes has just walked into the diner and they're right behind you. And so then, like, everything he thought that I was like joking about became true. And I'm sat there, I'm like, I'm twitching, I'm real crazy. And I was like, which one is it? Oh my God, which one is it? It was like, I think it's the singer. And I was like, Julian Casablancas, ah! I was like freaking out. And sure enough, Julian Casablancas walks past with his wife and his kids. I'm just totally starstruck. And so we're sat there. I was like, what do I do? I don't want to be on call. I don't want to go over. He's obviously with his family. And my manager's like, well, why don't you, when you're finished, why don't you go and offer to pay for his breakfast? And so I did. So I stood up, I start walking over, and I'm like just melting as I go there. I'm just like, freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, this is Julian Casablancas. So I walk over, coolest guy ever. Put my top on his leather jacket, his godly leather jacket, and he turns around, and he's like, whoa, he's a bit taken back. Obviously, it's this giant black dude with an afro. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. And I was just like, oh my God, man, like, I'm a really big fan of the music. I don't want to like geek out or anything. But is there any way that, to say thank you for everything that you've given to music and given to me personally, would you mind if I got you and your family breakfast? And he was like, that won't be necessary, but thank you. And so I said, that's totally cool, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we finished up, we paid our bill, we left, and we're walking out the door, and we just hear this whistle, and we turn around, and Julian Casablancas has followed us out. And he's like, oh, sorry, man, you just caught me off guard. And we just sat and talked. He's like, hey, man, I really dig your style, da-da-da-da. And I was just, it was just an unbelievable experience. And I thought to myself that even before I stepped foot in the studio, even before whatever comes of this week, whatever crazy stuff happened, and lots of crazy stuff did happen, I was like, this is already the best experience of my life. If I go back with nothing but this is crazy. And it was an absolute dream.
Wow. What an amazing story too. And your first time in New York, that happening? I mean, I've been there like close to 6 years now. I haven't gotten that. I need to go to that pancake shop, I think.
Yes, definitely. Pancakes are the secret.
Real quick, what do you think of their new album?
I actually haven't had the chance to listen to it. I've listened to a couple of the, I think a couple of the singles, I know they did the Oblivious EP, and then I haven't heard the album yet. But I'm excited to. I think I'm waiting until I'm just in that total headspace with everything going on right now. Yeah. I just kind of feel like I need to be in the right place to just sit and appreciate it properly. But when I listen to it, I'll be sure to let you know.
Perfect. We'll circle back. Dylan, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure getting to know you. And I can't wait to see all that's to come this next year.
Hey, the same. I hope that from this, this crazy time, that you and your listeners and everybody we can all grow and take something positive and hopefully come out this the other side better people for it.
Absolutely. Dylan, thank you so much again, and hopefully we'll see you very soon.
Mad love to you and your listeners. Bye.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.